Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got a big best of 5 between Creator in the bottom left and Serral in the top right side. Serral representing Basilisk, and of course, Creator being a monster. Now, did he rejoin Envy recently? I'm not actually sure. I believe some players were rejoining there. I'll check after this game. But Creator has looked so good lately, and you know what's crazy about this series and why I've got to speak about it immediately? Creator picked this map. That's right, guys. Creator picked Altitude Map 1. He vetoed Neo-Humanity, Serral vetoed Ancient Cistern, and that's kind of funny. Creator is picking one of the biggest, most spread out base maps on the pool, and I believe it's very good for attacking, because it's hard to defend the bases. On the other hand, it's a long rush distance, so it takes a while to get across the map. And Creator is a part of Club Envy, apparently. Interesting. Third hatchery does go down there. Got a gas on the way for Creator as well. I gotta wonder, what do you do? Is it a charge lot all in? Are you know, what the hell are you going to be going for? Like, I really just am so curious what the strategy is on Altitude, because this map is pretty good for Protoss versus Terran, though Spirit argues it's good for Terran, but in Zerg versus Protoss, it's been usually vetoed. I don't think I've seen a top tier ZVP on this map, man. But it's going to be interesting to see which way it goes. Spawning Pool and Gas is on the way. Serral's been having mixed results in this matchup on the ladder recently. I saw one of Serral's most mortal streams ever recently, where he actually lost a bunch of ZVPs. He still won more games than he lost, but he lost, I think, 2 or 3 to max packs out of like 5 or 6 games, which was, you know, losing almost 50% to max packs was kind of crazy. On the other hand, Serral was talking the entire time. I could tell Serral was trying to entertain, and he was actually working on being like a proper streamer and commentating everything he was doing. So you see him now, we're going to see mega focused Serral. This is not Serral, oh, I'll stream for a few hours and commentate and explain a few things. This is Serral that's going to just bloody basically be down to business almost immediately, man. Probe is still hanging out there, and Robo, okay, yeah. So Robo's going to go down. Creator's got some of the best 2-base pushes in the game, and I would not be surprised if it's just a Disruptor drop opening. 5-gate is an option, the old school 5-gate. If we don't see probes being a big focus here for Creator, and we actually see him already cutting probes just a second here or there, not in a big way. Second gateway at the natural might go down in a few seconds, I'd say about 3 minutes as well. There is one Adept out, but it looks like he's just hiding from the Overlord, hoping to block any Zergling scouts from coming in. Serral's Overlord comes back and spots him there. And Serral's third hatchery is down behind it. Now, against a Robo opening, this can give you a Warp Prism to just drop Adepts and be annoying. You can get Immortals out, but just being able to warp units in on the front and juggle units in and out of the Prism is amazing. But indeed, Creator goes for the Robo Bay, which tells us he wants to go for the Disruptor drop. Usually, you can follow that up with a single Colossus and go for a big old push. Colossus wrecks Zerglings. Queens, Roaches, Ravagers get wrecked by Disruptors. Add just a bunch of unupgraded gateway units on the ground to support it. It can be very effective. Now, on the other hand, a lot of players have, of course, evolved that build into one where they take a third base behind it and they don't actually commit to the 2-base all-in. The problem is this takes a while to get across such a large map, and if Serral's creep spread's on point, it's going to be difficult to push into his territory. Zerglings coming down here for Serral, just scouting both third base locations. He's been pretty economic so far, equal workers with the Protoss player. It's usually about 40 workers where you start to overtake. He is building a few extra Zerglings though, and notice Serral's map vision? Look at this. Exceptional vision right now. Queens on the edge in case an Oracle does sneak down that left flank as well. He's going for 5-6 Queens, drops a Roach Warren here. Hasn't built a Spore Crawler, so it does look like he thinks, yeah, this is probably Twilight or Robo play, ground focus play. And I feel like Creator says, okay, this is, by the way, Central US because Serral won the coin flip. He has the server advantage, but I have a special build for this map, and so I'm confident doing this one. There we go, going up to 5 gates. That means this is very committed on 2 bases, guys. 4 gases, 5 gateways. He's going to be making a lot of sentries to start gathering energy. The Warp Prism is about to get that second Disruptor. Pack that into the Warp Prism and get out there. Serral doesn't want to throw any Zerglings away. He's lost just 2 of them so far. He's on equal workers, and this is where I would say Reyna would probably try to be greedy and get 55 drones. Serral's like, build 2 drones, build Zerglings. Build 2 drones, build Queens. He's going up to 8 Queens. Mass queen defense. Okay, queens are really good for killing prisms. They can actually do okay versus Colossus as well because they can use that long-range anti-air attack. But their damage output's not that big. They're more of a buying time unit, right? They're very tanky. They've got transfuse. And they will shut down the Warp Prism for now. Queens are a pretty decent target for the Disruptors, but hard to actually get in range. And, oh, good pullback. Gets a few Zerglings. Another 6 Zerglings go down. Serral, though, not taking any economic damage. And that Roach Speed is the most important thing. If he can get Roach Speed out, up against this push, the best way to deal with it is you don't want to build any more workers. You just want to backstab with Roachling. Anytime Creator moves out, you want to counterattack his natural and then try to backstab and surround his army. Creator's taking a 3rd base. I am pretty sure that's a fake, guys. There's no reason you'd be going up to 6, 7, 8 gateways and only then taking a 3rd. But Serral sees it, and that will prompt Serral to build a few more drones. He's got 3 more on the way. Another one queues up. If Serral keeps droning here, that's the play that Creator wants. He's building an Immortal, so he's going to get 1 or 2 Immortals to help as just good units to deal with those Roaches. Sentries will be coming in the near future as well. Sorry, guys. Did the Disruptors get anything else? No, it looks like the Queens and the Overlords just keep pushing them back. And both Disruptors, looks like they had to cancel their shots on the last one. I should have been watching this Prism. Apologies, guys. A little bit unfocused with our commentary. But we'll get on point with that. Sentries in the open. You don't want to engage a Colossus, though. Overseer's coming in. And he starts a probe. That's a fake probe, guys. He cancels the probe the moment the Overseer's done. Serral's building only Roaches, though. I think Serral's not buying the story. Creator's trying to sell him a story of, yeah, I'm just doing 3-base Colossus. You know, I'm probing up my 3rd. It's a totally normal build. Serral's doing nothing but massing Roach and Ravager. I think he's got the read on what Creator's doing. He is making an infestation pit. If he builds around a drones, that would be big. 3rd base gets cancelled. Serral does not know about it. But that army's going to be moving out really soon. Here we go. 3 more pylons. The Lings come in immediately. Oh, he's not able to block the scouting. That's unfortunate. Disruptors on the front side. Unable to find the mark just yet. Roach Speed is finished, remember. Oh, he's going to lose a ball. That's disastrous there for Creator. And Serral right now is all over it. 65 drones. He's up 20 workers, which is a lot. But killing one of the 2 Disruptors is absolutely massive. And he's got a 4th on the way. It's more for production than anything else. Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings, a huge amount of them coming out. Now, this is 16 unupgraded Stalkers. It's about 7 minutes 45, maybe 8 minutes he's going to hit. By golly, though. Into what, 11 Ravagers? You can't push through 11 Ravagers, guys. Creator is going to need the force fields of the gods to break through Serral here. Serral has scouted. He has reacted. And Creator did nothing to really throw him off balance this game. No adept pressure, just the Disruptors doing whatever they could. And, oh man, the Roach Ravager getting on top. He lets a lot of it through, does Creator. I think he wanted Serral to kind of overextend so that he couldn't just pull away from the force fields. But at the end of the day, yeah, you killed some units. Guess what? You're out of force fields. The Prism has to break the warp in. He's saving his Disruptor shot, but he ends up having to throw it out. And the moment that thing whiffs, Serral is back in the action, fighting hard and firm. And I just don't think Creator has the numbers. Even with those 2 Immortals on the left, they don't do bonus damage to Ravagers or Queens, only the Roaches. And these Stalkers trying to warp in. The Biles take out the Prism in the back door. And Serral says, Altitude, how dare you pick my map pick 1? That is a crazy choice, mate, because I am very comfortable playing on this map. And Creator, he went for the Gambit. He picked what is normally considered the Zerg map, tried to trick him, but Serral's scouting was just a little bit too good. Alright, guys, let's go into game number 2. Serral just opened up with an Extractor trick. Now, the reason he did that is not because he has a special build order in... Oh, it is! He's doing 15 hatch! Oh! He's doing a 15 hatch! Serral! Okay, I didn't realize you Extractor trick for that. Okay, so he went straight up to 15 drones, and the idea is just to get that down a second before the probe arrives. And now you go, haha, you sent a probe across the map early. You're losing a lot of mining time. The whole goal of that is to force me to take a worse 3rd base as my natural, and it's just not the way it's gonna go. My God, my ability to speak today is absolutely terrible. Spawning pool goes down before gas for Serral. That's interesting, guys. I think Serral here, it's not like he's gonna skip the gas. He's simply prioritizing getting the pool down at an early enough timing so he can still get his queen started. Because the hatchery's a lot quicker here, you need to go for an earlier spawning pool in order to make it work. So that's actually a very cute adjustment. I think it was 15 hatch into 17 pool, I believe was the build here. And only then takes the gas at like 18 supply afterwards. So that's really awesome. Let's see how well he lined up that queen and pool. Spawning pool and hatchery, sorry for the double queen. Behind it, double gas is on the way. Creator's doing a pretty standard follow-up. And we'll see what else he goes for. This is, of course, Serral's map pick, Gressman. And look at that, guys. Pool finishes, hatchery finishes at very similar timings. Double Queen does start up. And Serral going to be heading towards that Ling speed momentarily. The probe's going to get out of there. I'd like to see create a double Chrono Adept across the map after how passive he was in the previous game. I understand you want to hide information against Serral, but I think players shouldn't be so afraid of pressuring him in the early stages. I've seen him struggle with his fair share of well-microed Adept Oracle pressure, just like any other Zerg. And I think it's a little frightening if you give him a very calm early game like the last one. Robo again? Okay, guys. All right, we're seeing a pattern. Creator was the king of playing Void Ray Turtle Sky Toss. He got to the grand finals at GSL a couple of years ago. He went up against Rogue, an impossible matchup. Rogue makes Protoss players look like idiots most of the time. Occasionally, he just gets bopped by them because he gambles so much with his build orders and has the wrong read, but usually Rogue would make them look like idiots. Creator showed massive flexibility in his style. He pulled out a ton of cool robo openings, beautiful timing attacks, and took it down to the wire. Yes, it was a 4-2 victory for Rogue, but even some of Rogue's victories were very close, hard-fought games. And I love that apparently this is his goat killer style. I feel like this is Creator's, like, you know, I have my normal PvZ for killing the regular Zergs, then I have goat killer stuff. And I save it for Rogue, I save it for Serral. When I'm playing these guys, I'm bringing out the Robo timings. But interestingly, same opening as the last game, Robo bait again. I wouldn't mind seeing a double Adept pressure out of the Prism, and then see the Disruptors like walk across the map and join up with the Prism. Anything to get the aggression going a little bit earlier would be nice. And who knows, maybe he would have done that if the third base got taken. But Serral so far is playing basically what a lot of pro gamers used to do when the scene wasn't as refined, saying, I think I'm better than you, I'll just defend and scout and just try to play a standard solid game. Standard solid games and a fast-paced game like StarCraft 2 is usually a losing strategy. But Serral was the guy who, of course, had a ridiculous win rate in 2018 by doing just that. And he showed us that you can play purely defensive if you are just that much better than everybody else. He likes to do it this way. He hates taking gambles. And he's admittedly said, I hate it when my opponents gamble versus me. That's the one thing that gets him really upset. When he knows his opponents are really just taking crazy chances to try and beat him, that's when he starts to get a little upset. Now, these Adepts coming out. Creator's doing a really good job of faking the Glaive Adept build this time. And notice that's forcing an earlier Roach Warren. A lot more Zerglings. He's actually scaring Serral right now while doing this. Now, the Overlord sees, and there's only 2 more Adepts warping in. Serral's building Roaches. He's absolutely thinks this is real. And then the Warp Prism goes out of phase mode, cancels the 2 Adept warp in, and Serral is going to go back to droning momentarily. He starts a lair, starts another gas, and he says, oh, it's a fake. And he realizes, oh, you've just tricked me into building 30 Zerglings, 2 Roaches. You tricky lad, you. A couple Zealots building behind this for Creator. That's interesting, guys. Those 2 Zealots already warping in. He's going to push with 1 Colossus, right? Is he? Maybe, maybe not. He's still building probes. Creator's going to take a 3rd for real this time. Oh, the Zealots are to defend the Lings. He already knows there's so many Lings out that he's forced, so he's going to do it that way. Okay, he'll lose the probe, but the Adepts will shade. Only loses 1 Adept. And where is that Disruptor drop, guys? Oh my god, Serral's Queen positioning is so good. The Disruptor goes out, he gets a Roach. This Disruptor says, oi, get over here. And hitting 2 Queens would be good. He gets 1. She'll take forever to regenerate that life, so not too bad. If you get 2 shots on a Queen, it will die. It'll get popped. It's going to move out for that 3rd base now. Is Creator. Creator's floating money right now. It's kind of annoying when you force so many Zerglings and you think, haha, you don't have as many drones, you silly, silly Zerg player. And then you find out that, wait, now they can deny your 3rd base with those Zerglings. And you're like, ah, man. Perhaps if Creator had moved out a little earlier and wedged his units in the mineral line, got his Adepts there, he would have been able to secure the 3rd base. But now, he is a bit behind on it, and Serral continues to build workers. Forged, Twilight Stalkers, and Disruptors all on the way right now. A lot of people out there obviously thinking Serral's the big favorite. Oh, Serral loses a Queen. I thought one of those Disruptor shots might come back and go for the Zerglings, but there we go. Nice pick off, getting a Queen. Forge and Twilight and Probing coming up behind it. Creator's going to play a slow, stable game. Big weakness of this style, guys, it's the Spire. However, that's not a very quick Spire. This is going to be like 8-minute Mutalisks, maybe 8.5 minutes. The Mutas will fly into Creator's base. Creator's, of course, he's not got a lot of economy. He's not in that great a position. But definitely, you don't have a Stargate. You can't reactively build Phoenix. Spire is fantastic as a tech choice against a Protoss who's playing Robo. You know, if you forget about the Spire, this seems like, why doesn't Protoss always play this style? Ooh, 3 roaches. He just got 3 roaches. Oh, another 2 roaches and a creep tumor go down. Big shots coming in. Creator might decide to actually push here. He's forcing a lot of roaches, Ravagers, and Zerglings, and that's important. Forcing him to spend his gas on Ravagers means less gas for Mutalisks. I love the way Creator's posturing here, but the Ling backstab. He's only got 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Battery. He needs to be careful those probes don't die. Oh, probes need to pull back. Get those probes out of there. Serral manages to take out 2 probes, goes to the surround. Nice recall, and a few Zerglings go down. Most of them, surprisingly, managed to sneak out of that mineral line. No gases on the 3rd base just yet for Creator. I wonder what Creator does from here. Does he still commit to the push? Serral's only going for 6 Mutas, and knowing Serral, that might be it. He might just do 6 Mutas and then play Ravager Ling Bane. Serral is not a player who likes taking risks, and that, we've talked about that many times over the years. A lot of players here might try to mass Mutas, bank up 20 of them and surprise him. Serral says, I'll make just enough to one-shot probes. We're going to do 1 drive-by with the Mutas and see what we can get. Creator sees it. Creator sees it. Guys, we're on Creator's camera. He just put down a cannon in the main. He already had a cannon down, so he's got cannon battery in each base. Problem, he doesn't have a 4th base secured, but he saw what was happening. The Observer sees it. I love that that Disruptor comes forward and tries to go fishing for some roaches, but the creep spread's starting to get out there, and Serral's vision is awesome. Mutas come in around the left side. Stalkers aren't really hidden. I would like them to be a little further back so they could actually trap the Mutas. If you kill even 2 of these Mutas, Serral loses lethality. Serral comes in and instantly turns around, takes his hat back off the coat rack and says, sorry, I thought this was the hairdressers. No, I didn't. No, didn't mean, nope, I'll be leaving. 2nd Evo Chamber melee upgrades on the way as well. Infestation Pit is almost finished. Serral will be heading towards Hive, but he's kind of forced to take an engagement on the Ravager Ling Bane. His 4th base going to be a prime target. If Creator can keep these rocks alive, that really helps limit the options of Serral. I wouldn't mind Serral breaking those rocks with the Roaches and the Ravagers, the range units. Muta's going to pick off a Zealot out here. Not too bad. Few Adepts going down the left side as well. Ooh, Zerglings roasting and toasting. There's not that many Protoss units here, though. Oh, good spready for Serral. Oh, man. These Disruptor shots aren't doing anything. Serral baits the balls out. He baits out the balls. Creator has to give up the base and fall back. Oh my lord, Serral is on fire right now, dude. He denies the base for free. Slow, calm, tactical play. It's so different in flavor to guys like Dark and Raynor that play such more of a YOLO style, but Serral is like clean, methodical, slow advantages, stacking them up one on top of each other. The Mutas are like, cool, we killed 4 probes, now leave. We forced static defense, now leave. Pull back. Wait for the moment, wait for the fight. Wait for the moment, wait for the fight. That's what Serral's all about. He doesn't want to throw games away on silly half-cocked engages. Muta's kind of denying the 4th base down there. Disruptor's coming forward, trying to save these Stalkers. Gets a bunch of Zerglings, not bad. But they still manage to take out some of these units. Stalkers split off to get rid of those Mutas. The Mutas are being a nuisance, man. A lot of people think 6 Mutas isn't a threat. Serral says, mate, these aren't Mutas, these are Mutas. And they are, that's not how he says it, Pig. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for that. But yeah, they insert Finnish accent Mutas. They are Serral's Mutas. You give him 5 or 6 Mutas, he's just going to keep them alive, running around in circles, being absolutely bloody annoying. Damn it, I wish I'd asked him about Mutalisks before this. Might have had a nice little audio bite of him. Anyway, 2 Mutas going down. Finally, Creator catches them. Creator's getting close to maxed. The thing is, his army is heavily reliant on 1 Colossus and 4 Archons for anti-Zergling. If those units get picked off, or if those 3 Disruptors whiff a little bit, it's going to be a little nasty. And we've got 2 Vipers out for Serral, guys. They don't have energy just yet. If Creator was up on his face fighting right now, it'd be good. But you're pushing on creep versus mass Baneling. I just don't see this ever winning you the game. Even on just 61 probes. Maybe? I don't know. The engagement really matters. Lings are going to backstab and kind of force him all in. It's going to be massive to get that. +2 attack is finished for the Protoss. Greater Spire's on the way. It's not ready just yet. Serral, he's going to move in. Oh, he's coming in from 2 sides. The Stalker's coming back. The Disruptor shot doesn't land on the right side. The Archon's absorbing most of these Banelings. The Stalker's in beautiful formation, and holy crud. That was an amazing fight for Creator, guys. 2-to-1 units lost. About 50 Banelings just went down, and they didn't kill much. A lot of the Protoss army is damaged. Very few units died. And this is a spectacular setup. The Vipers didn't really do much either. The Disruptors venturing forward's a problem. They're gonna expose themselves. I'd like to see them at the back of the army, so when Serral jumps on you, they do good stuff. Because now, yeah, he goes a little bit far forward with those, but of course he's occupied. The Lings tear down his wall. Mr. Creator Chev, tear down that wall. And that's what Serral's saying right now. He wants to bring the people together. Of course, we all know what that means. That means he's going to try and turn you into one of them. He's going to put you in a cocoon like Kerrigan and make you a Zerg. Oh God, the spready, the arc is just too big. Serral is actually in a little bit of an issue right now. This Protoss army has got position in between two of his bases. He's got to do something about it. Creator, oh! Big ball does land. The abduct's a little bit slow. And all this running in and out is costing him so much. On the other hand, Creator's income is absolutely scrapped, guys. He's still making Archons, though. He's still got some gas mining. He's still making some more units. And attacking in with Ling Bane, definitely not the most efficient. Serral is stuck on these units. Lings, Banes, a handful of Roaches and Ravagers. And that Archon count has just hit critical mass. 7 Archons are disrupted, 21 Stalkers, 5 Immortals. As long as his units are spread out even a little bit, it's going to be hard. Serral does abduct the Disruptor before it can shoot. He blows the Stalkers up with the Banelings. Is there enough left over to clean this army up? Those Immortals standing strong. The Colossus from the early game is at 40 kills. And Serral will not give up yet. He's got one more remax of army, but it looks like Creator might. I mean, this supply, 14 Roaches about to put. I don't know if Creator has enough of a reinforce. Losing all the mining on his third is a huge problem. He's only got 2 Immortals, a few Stalkers. I think Serral is just barely held on here, guys. I think, honestly, he's just barely held on. The Roach Warren goes down. He's too deep on creep. Is Creator. The Archon goes down and the Immortal falls. Another Immortal about to fall. There's just no reinforce here. Creator took some very good fights, but Daddy Longlegs Colossus with 56 kills. 57 kills, but he goes down despite it. Both guns blazing. Creator says, man, that Colossus may have done the work, but at the end of the day, Serral just did way too much damage with his backstabs, and it makes sense. Creator had to focus on the front because those Vipers were such a big problem. He didn't have a very good answer to them. Could have warped in High Templar, but they didn't have Storm, and using them just for feedback's not the best way to do it. Creator has to tap out there. A much closer game, though. That was a really good build from Creator. Okay, guys, let's get into it. It's game number 3, and the Night King is showing no sign of slowing down. Serral representing Basilisk. And, you know, Basilisks I always think of as kind of an evil creature, even though I know the guys there are a bunch of very lovely people. I feel like signing up the literal bad guy from one of the most famous book series and TV shows from of all time. Cold, passionless Finn, a man from the far north, and I feel like his playstyle reflects it as well, right? It's not like he's playing with the Italian fire of Raynor, the crazy, surprising strategies of Dark out of Korea. It's literally just like the slow cold creeping over and freezing you in your boots until you die of hypothermia. Serral doesn't finish you off quick. He's very slow, and it feels like it's this, you're fighting nature, you know? He's like, it was always going to be this way, mate. We actually did have our Urubu on-site reporter go down to Serral during the opening stages, so we're just going to ask Serral, how are you feeling, and what is your plan for Game 3? What has Creator got coming his way?
Winter is coming.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, it's good. You know, some people said he's annoyed you call him the Night King. Apparently, he's playing into it, guys. He's saying winter is coming. We'll stop bugging him there. Creator, on the other hand, no doubt, Omega focused. He looked very frustrated after that last game because he knew he took some good fights. But I think just losing those Disruptors, moving them a bit far forward was probably the crucial thing. If you had the Disruptors in the back during some of those engagements, that would have been a very different series of engagements, I do believe. Even just forcing Serral to spread is very, very effective. Oh, I like this, guys. I like this. If they don't go Stalker, yeah, even if they do go Stalker first, this Overlord comes in so early, and Creator hasn't seen the Overlord. So what he can do, he can wait, and he can see the tech usually goes down here. Creator doesn't even know. Stargate's there. Serral, is he going to poke in for it? This is very clever scouting. Serral has some of the best CVP scouting in the game, and I think he's going to wait to see... No, he's doing it! So if it's Stalker first, he would probably be losing the Overlord, but look at this payoff, guys. Stargate gets scouted there. He sees exactly what's going on. There's a Zealot coming out behind this for Creator. Starts a Zealot, cancels it, builds a Stalker. He was faking the Adept. He didn't have enough gas to build the Stalker straight away, so he was trying to fake it out, but Serral sees everything. Ain't no faking out the Finn. Oh, Adept's going to be coming in towards the third base. Uh-oh! Oh! Spore Crawler goes down! Oh, nice pick off. Creator, finally. First game of the series where he's gotten in there with the Adept, forces a Spore, gets a drone. Very nice start to the action. Oracle's on the way as well. Creator's saying, that's fine. I'm going to dance with you in the more standard game. Now, on Babylon, this is a map where I'd be a little worried about Serral breaking these rocks and queen walking. This map is not that big, and if you break down those rocks and walk queens, you can get out here very early on. It's hard to breach the natural in the third, but I do think that if you're doing like a very greedy Stargate build, there are some, ground pushes that can be surprisingly strong. This map is, of course, a bit smaller. Remember, he picked altitude, map 1 did Creator, so the scoreline, people are like, oh, of course, Serral's going to 3-0, but Babylon is a much shorter map, better for pushes that he's, like, the style that he's been doing. Actually, that's kind of weird, right? He's playing Stargate on the small map, and he was playing Robo on the big map. Pro gamers out there watching, please share your thoughts, even if you're not a pro gamer. I feel like that's the opposite of what you normally do. Maybe Creator's prioritizing surprise over standard kind of just logical efficiency, which is absolutely all right. Oracle does come in. Both players looking pretty focused there. Creator always looks a little frantic when he plays, for those who are wondering. That's basically just how Creator plays StarCraft. I often criticize myself as being a very panicky player. Back when I competed, I used to be very good at dropping the ball when I was ahead and getting in my own head and freaking out and getting emotional. I feel like me and Creator are kind of cut of the same cloth in that way, that he does get very excited when things are going his way. Sometimes he takes his hands off the keyboard and mouse and literally shouts in triumph or in distress at his monitor. Oh, nice move. Adept's just picking off tumors. I really like the way Creator's playing. Just handling everything. He's going to clean up the Overlord. Third Oracle is out. No real drone damage other than that early drone that the Adept got. And 3 gates and a Robo. Are we going to see him drop a bunch more gateways? Actually, no, this is just the way Creator plays this build. Now I remember. Remember Creator vs. Dark, he actually did this same build, and he takes forever to get his Twilight and Forge off it. This is just a bunch of non-glaive Adepts. 8 non-glaive Adepts and 3 Oracles coming in. 7 Queens are on the map, though, which is a really good beginnings to the defense. Serral's actually... Was he planning his own Queen Walk? He's already going 9 Roaches. He might actually be planning his own aggression here, which shuts down what Creator's doing. Creator needs to make Immortals right now. Otherwise, he's going to die, potentially. Serral might go back to droning, but no, he's building more Lings. Serral, I talked about a Queen Walk earlier, guys. I think it's such a good strategy on this map. It does feel like Serral's going to try and get the clean, easy victory in Game 3. And I think when you're up 2-0, going for a big attack like that's such a clever idea. And Creator, I don't know if he realizes this. I mean, he shows no sign. There's nothing at home to defend it. There's no... An Immortal starts now, a 4th Oracle. Oracles are not going to be the unit you need. The Queens are walking. The Roaches are walking. He's trying to build cannons. They're going to take 30 seconds to build. He needs a lot of cannons, and I believe he'll need one in the natural, and that as well. The Ravagers are getting to the count where they can one-shot cannons and batteries. That's a big problem. Adepts and Oracles are going to wreck Zerglings, but it's the Queens pushing back the Oracles, the Roaches and the Ravagers pushing back the Adepts, and then what have you got to fight? 3 Stalkers, 1 Immortal almost on the map. Cannons are coming in. Oracles do turn on the beams, but Serral's Overlord, oh man, it's been eating all sorts of food all morning, and he starts to dump that out on the ground. The Creep Tumor does go down. There's an Immortal and a Sentry in the natural, but this third base is under assault, and instantly 2 batteries are within 1 bile of going down. The Adepts and the Stalkers trying to fight out front, but that bile takes down 2 of those shield batteries. More cannons and batteries building the back. I like the way Creator's layering his defense. How much production? 3 gates, 1 Robo, and just non-stop Oracles, Immortals, and Gateway units. Oh, the bile's trying to take out the cannon. The battery overcharge is good, though. Oh, Creator's microing this pretty well, but his Oracles go in, and they get overwhelmed. He's got to use them on hold position to stop the Zerglings. They do that pretty well. More biles coming in for Serral. There's no firepower left for Creator. Too much money spent on Oracles and Probes here. He's up 15 workers, which of course does not help if you don't have any fighting units. The Immortals are finally coming down, but they were separated from the army this whole time. They didn't want to get surrounded by the Zerglings. And Serral doing an excellent push here on Babylon. A great way to utilize the short rush distance on this map. This is exactly why I thought RoboPlay would be more effective on this map rather than those big ones. Is look how quick this push got across the map. Creator still making Oracles here. The problem is I really feel like Oracles, as good as they are at clearing Zerglings, it's very difficult with so many Queens on the front. And look at that, those Immortals and Stalkers can't really get down there. Third Nexus does fall. fall. Serral's taking a 4th base. Serral's got an Evo Chamber, Roach Speed, more Queens, more drones on the way behind it. He's going to have a follow-up as well, not to mention the fact that Creator's already lost so many units. Look at the units lost tab. 2-to-1 efficiency there. Protoss units are better than Zerg units if you build them counters, if you let them get everything together and join those forces. But it's incredibly infuriating right now. You can tell Creator is a little bit angry there, starting to get very aggressive towards his webcam. That's what he does a lot. It's that passion that ignites his fire. It's what he's going to use to fuel himself as he fights from an impossible situation. How do you make a comeback here versus Serral? You bloody get worked up. You get super bloody excited, and you make an incredible play that nobody could pull off except you right now. Obviously, this is in theory. In actuality, guys, he needs to make numbers not mean what numbers mean. That's what he needs to do. If each Oracle picks up 10, 15 drones, he's back in the game. But one drone, back down to red hit points on the Oracle, that ain't gonna cut it. He's hiding in the back. His army moves out. Oh, he gets jumped on. Serral with the ambush, grabs an Immortal, drops Biles everywhere, and is just so confident with his creep outside. Oh, for those who don't know, there's an alternative win condition in StarCraft 2. If you ever drop creep on the opponent's side of the map and spread it backwards, if you touch the tips of the creep from their side of the map and your side, I actually count that as a win. I will declare it a victory and say, game over, series over, you win. If this creep gets back and these tips connect, I'm telling you, man, you touch the tips, it's GG. It's a literal win condition. Game over, it says, you just are absolutely goated. That is a ridiculous move. I can't believe you just did that. And unfortunately for me, I really want to see it, but Serral's not quite connecting it. He's keeping it separated right now. Ooh. So many Ravages, moving down a ramp into Ravages. Oh, and Immortal goes down. Zealots try to cover, but the micro from Serral is just pinpoint accuracy, dude. All right, Serral, I know you've said things about Zerg being underpowered in the past and stuff, but honestly, I feel like this is just dominating the way you've played this series, man. How do you feel about Zerg balance right now?
They're broken.
Oh, really? Wow, just saying that about your own race? I thought you'd be more diplomatic.
This game is stupid.
What? What? You're winning! I thought you'd say that when you were losing, if anything. Wow, that's crazy, Serral. Anyways, good to see he's happy to answer questions during the live gameplay, guys. Ravager Baneling coming forward. Creator's going to try and pull back and spread, but of course he is so outnumbered. He needs an incredible, crazy fight to make this work. Oh, the Baneling hits are juicy. Creator, of course, has to tap out. He's just too outgunned. Nothing he could do from there. And that is a very clever way to utilize the map there for Yunus Satala. GG, well played. He gets the 3-0.